I'm Jennifer Bell, reading an excerpt from Matthew James Hunt's novel, I'm Not Gog, for the Buzz Bookstore Excerpt Contest. A single streetlight lit the children's area on the grass near the road with swing, slide, and roundabout, but the light couldn't reach much farther. The expanse beyond was so utterly black it was as if a section of town had been cut out with giant scissors, leaving a big space of nothing. We might have sat on the swings, but the chains had been wrapped around the top bar, so we couldn't have. Alex led me straight past them without a glance that way, and we went on into the darkness where we'd get a better view of the stars. In the distance, at the far end, we could see the lights of the main road into town, beyond a long fence, but soon we couldn't see the ground in front of us. We had to slow down a little until our eyes adjusted. I found Alex's hand and held it. "It's so dark," I said. "No moon," he said. "Where's it gone?" "Dunno." "The stars are so pretty," I said. It was a glorious sky. We could see every star in the cosmos. I was sure it was their light that made us and the field just visible in the dark, and not light from the roads at the edges ahead and behind us. It was a different hue, like moonlight, only much dimmer. We were walking through starlight. It was thrilling. He veered to the right, heading towards the top corner, next to the tall hedges round the bowling green. "Where are we going?" I said. "There's a quiet spot up ahead, by that white hut, see?" "I think so. It's quiet everywhere, though. There's a slope, so it's good to sit." The sound of our shoes on grass and the smell of it reminded me of when I used to walk over the fields with Daddy, although that was always in daylight, and in the country there wasn't the low hum of distant traffic. Alex took swigs of his shandy, and I heard the breath from his nose in the can. A loud police siren blared up the long main road. It became a little muffled as it sped into town, then it stopped abruptly, and it was a moment before I could hear our steps again. I thought about those curious moments of blindness and deafness as my eyes and ears adjusted from light to dark, from noise to silence. It seemed odd how slowly my senses attuned to new conditions. I doubted that it was just me. Most human reactions are usually instantaneous, as when one touches a hot thing, but I was struck at how perception seemed to have this inherent inertia, a resistance to adaptation that we don't notice unless the new condition is suddenly extreme. I wondered if it was a flaw that betrayed deeper vulnerability, but I couldn't speculate what, so I just admired the stars. We were almost at the White Hut, which was a wooden sports pavilion with a simple veranda, when Alex took his hand from mine and put it in his pocket. "Here," he said, stopping. "Put your coat down there so you can sit down." As I took it off and laid it on the ground, he tipped the last of the shandy into his mouth and threw the can behind him. We sat down facing the field over which we had come, me on my coat and him on the grass to my left. He took out a cigarette and lit it with a match cupped in his hands. For a couple of seconds, all I could see was his face scowling at the flame, then it disappeared. "It's all gone dark," I said. When I could see properly again, he was lying back, propped up on his elbows, with the glowing tip of the cigarette by his side between us. I wanted to lie next to him and perhaps hold his hand, but I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know how these things worked. I thought I should probably let him finish his smoke anyway, so I just looked at the stars again. "It's so beautiful," I said.